Hey guys, it's Brian and welcome to my 40th live stream. Today is October 8th. So, welcome everyone. I'd like to thank you all for your amazing patience and loyalty for coming to yet another one of my streams. So, yeah, I can't believe we're at 40 now. So, how's everyone doing? Let's see. Yeah, so here we're going to talk about the season 10 finale, A Certain Doom. By the way, guys, let me know if the audio is okay. Just want to make sure it's in the correct spot because I'm using an Xbox One mic, so I just want to make sure the volume is not backwards. You know what I mean? Because there's like a dial. So yeah, let's see. All right. Epic Zombie Killer said, "Yep, what an amazing episode it was." Let's see. Dan says, "I absolutely love this episode. Only a few problems, but it was really good." Yeah, I don't know why some people say it was terrible. I really don't understand that. Like, whoever said this was a terrible episode, it's like, come on, like, you can come to the stream, but like, we need to discuss it. You know what I mean? We're not gonna have an argument, but definitely, like, I want to hear people's thoughts. Why did they think it was a horrible episode? You know what I mean? Let's see. Guys are ready. Epic says one of the flaws was Beta's death was too fast. Yeah, it was kind of fast. I mean, did you see how Daryl just went? Daryl sliced him in the back and then, right in the face with those two knives. I mean, sheesh. I mean, talk about, it is Daryl. Uh, I mean, honestly, I think Beta's death was better in the show than it was in the comic because in the comic, we all know what happened. Beta was just he was fighting Paul and he was about to kill him, and then Aaron just shoots him in the back, and Beta like passes out, and then after they see that he was a like football player, not football player, basketball player, but also actor, he's like, no, I am Beta, and then just dies. You know what I mean? Just like that was weird. Like that made no sense at all. So the show, Angela Kang definitely improved Beta's death from the comic into the show. Let's see. Dan says also the fight with Beta and Negan could have been longer as well. Yeah, that's true. Okay, Dan. So I heard some people talk about this, and I agree with them. So the reason that the fight could not have been longer, we all know what's the issue. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is just way too skinny as Negan. Like in the comic book series, Negan held his own against Beta because let's be honest, Negan, sure he's smaller than Beta in the comics as well, but Negan actually has muscle in the comic, you know what I mean? And in the show, pretty much not existent. So, yeah, I mean, they kind of made it realistic for the show because Jeffrey Dean Morgan, his Negan is just, skinny. So it wouldn't have made sense for the fight to last too much longer. I mean, honestly, it's like, I think even Daryl's stronger than Negan, you know what I mean? Let's see. Epic says, "Yeah, I'm so glad Dog lived." Yeah, me too. But just such a shame what they did with Dog. They gave him like half. He had like no screen time except for a quick cameo, and only like Dog's half of the Dog's face was cut out in his cameo in the episode. So I didn't really like that. It's like, come on, give Dog some screen time. Let's see. Epic says, like the Whisper end was better than the comics. Yeah, I agree. The end was better. Now, as far as the deaths, we all know it. The deaths in the comics, they did it much better. As far as the deaths part. Um, let's see. Dan says the end of the Whispers was so disappointing in the comics. Yeah, and it's so crazy, but like in the comic book series, there are a few other Whispers besides Lydia who joined the group, but in the show, it's just Lydia. You know what I mean? Like every other Whisper was wiped out. Let's see. Epic says like the mask going over the cliff was amazing. Symbolism. Yeah, it was epic. Although, oh, okay. So, can you guys answer this? How did Lydia throw off her mask? Her mask or Alpha's mask off the cliff, and the walkers just didn't eat her. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make sense. In terms of like not story, in terms of realism, like because don't you need if you're in the middle of a herd and you lose your whisper mask, don't you die? You know what I mean? Won't the walkers notice you? Hey, chosen one, he says hi. Hey man, glad you made it. So yeah, so chosen, we're just talking about episode 16, what they could have improved on and what we absolutely liked. By the way, guys, did you get a chance to check out my? Okay, I know Dan did, but I don't know if Epic or Chosen. Have you guys seen my review for episode 16 yet? Let's see. Dan says, "Yeah, that's true. If not, then maybe give Daryl a longer fight with Beta. But then again, I like the sneak attack at the same time. Yeah, me too, Dan. Also, like Daryl had like a really long fight with Beta already, so doing a second one might be a bit redundant, I guess. Epic says maybe because they had the Walker guts still on them. Maybe Epic. That's a good point, but like I barely noticed it. You know what I mean? Because it didn't really look like they had too much on them. Like Carol had a decent amount, but like Lydia, I thought she mostly had the mask on. You know what I mean? So I was a little unsure. Um, like okay, so can we just talk about like how besides Beta, the biggest deaths this episode was Beatrice and Oscar. I mean, okay, we kind of know Beatrice, but it's like do you guys even remember Oscar? You know what I mean? He's the guy from the hilltop, and he had the shield. He was fighting, protecting the caravan with the horses as whispers were attacking them, and a whisper throws a throwing knife, and boom, he dies. I mean, like that, like, um, I guarantee you that pretty much hardly anyone remembers Oscar. Like, hardly anyone knows his name. Epic says the cliffhanger was amazing at the end of the episode. Yeah, it was epic. They said it was going to be like super jaw dropping, but I mean, we all knew it was going to be the Commonwealth, soldiers. Let's see. Chosen says, yes, I've seen your review. I'm not sure if I liked episode 16. It had cool effects and views, but the episode seemed more like a summary than an episode. It was very fast paced. Yeah, it was fast paced, Chosen. I agree with that because they skipped over Eugene, like crashing his bike. They completely skipped over that. They skipped over repairing the bike and just a couple other things like how did the Whisperers get in the hospital? You know what I mean? From the basement. A lot of things were kind of they just happened. How did Daryl and them get back to the tower or the hospital without dealing with any more Whisperers? You know what I mean? Because the Whisperers and the Walkers, didn't they block the road? They completely skipped over that. So, yeah, this was a very fast paced episode. Um, you know, it. I will say it. This episode should have been extended. They should have extended this to like 55 minutes or something. I don't know. Dan says, can we please mention how amazing the Commonwealth looks, though? So happy with the introduction of the Commonwealth. Yeah, me too, Dan. Hopefully they can pull it off because, I mean, like the Commonwealth, it looks good, but the story is a bit of, it's tricky. You know what I mean? Epic says, by the way, Brian, how did you feel about The Walking Dead World Beyond? I thought it was okay. Um, I think it was a pretty good premiere, Epic. I will say. By the way, my did you get a chance to see my review for the premiere? It's in my channel. I can put the link in the description or in the chat if you want to see it. But yeah, I gave my whole thoughts on the episode. I even put some jokes in there. Um, because I know you guys like jokes. At least I hope you do. Dan says it wasn't jaw dropping in my opinion because we saw that coming. They overhyped the ending in my opinion, but still, either way, it was a great ending. Yeah, that's true. I'm glad they didn't go with something else. Dan says I really enjoyed World Beyond. 8 out of 10 is what I give it. Yeah, I think 8 out of 10 is right. I think like 8.5 for me, but like maybe I don't know. I really thought it was gonna be so bad, and then it's like this really isn't not that bad. Chosen says Lydia was suddenly outside and beat Carol outside of the horde. I also don't understand the wagging with the music. Was Oscar and Marco outside already? How did they know about the plan? That is a good. Those are good questions, Chosen. So for Lydia being outside, yeah, they skipped over that. As far as the wagon and the music, that was the herd. But Oscar and Marco, I think that I'm pretty sure they were outside. Like, you know what I mean? And they caught up with them. So Oscar and Marco, I don't think they were in the hospital when the herd came. So yeah, I think they just happened to meet up with them off screen and establish the plan. Because I think the horses are somewhere else. You know what I mean? Dan says people are hating on World Beyond too much, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, uh, it's kind of sad, Dan. I mean, it's not. it's not the best The Walking Dead has given us. I will say that the characters are really cringy. You know what I mean? But what they were giving us with the CRM was better than I expected, and some of the cast has a lot of charisma. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Like, pretty much everyone's favorite characters are going to be Felix and Hope. For some people, it's going to be Hope and Felix. And I mean, yeah, the actor for Felix has a lot of charisma, and he's a good actor. And as far as Hope, we all know why a lot of us like Hope. You know what I mean? Let's see. Dan says your reviews were awesome. Love the jokes as well. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Dan. Um, did you I don't know what my favorite one was, but um, Dan, what did you think about the one where I had Father Gabriel talking to Judith, and when he tells her to go with Scott, I did like the WTF Scott like Judith face. You know what I mean? So like I just I took screenshots of Judith's face like looking super confused. But yeah, and oh yeah, and I wanted to ask you guys, do you like that I have music now in my reviews? Like, so for the Walking Dead finale, I had the intro, and for World Beyond, I had that song, "We Were Born for This." You know what I mean? In the background while I was talking, because I figured that would help, my reviews. I'm trying to improve the quality, so yeah. Do you guys like that? Let's see. Epic says, but yeah, Carol, this episode was pretty awesome. I think they redeemed her. Yeah, kind of. And okay, I will not fault the episode, but I will fault Angela Kang and Scott Gimple. They should not have confirmed that Carol survived season 10. They really should not have done that. I mean, I don't. It would have been so much. I would have had. There would have been so much more tension, and I would have been scared for Carol if they just would have. If they said that there was going to be a sequel show after The Walking Dead season 11. You know what I mean? Dan says, yeah, they definitely redeemed her because Carol in season 10 was terribly written, in my opinion. But Carol was great in the finale. I'm back to being a Carol fan again. Yeah, Carol's good. Um, yeah, she's good in our book now. Let's see if she's good in Connie's. Hey, Eastside, he says, definitely agree, Dan. It's the Fear the Walking Dead syndrome. Let's see. Dan says, Hope and Felix are the stars of the show, in my opinion. Yeah, definitely. Looks like it, lol. And you say Scott. Let's see. Judith is like, why? LOL. Yeah, I love that joke so much. When I put it in my review, I just had to put it. And like I said in my review, I am done. Like with Scott, you know what I mean? Like trying to hope that he is just gonna get killed off or get some screen time at some point. Like, you know what I mean? I'm done trying to predict his death. Like I said in my review, he has survived the apocalypse, the wolves, the saviors, the whisperers. I mean, the Pikes, he survived everything. And like when I do death predictions for like season 11, I'm not even going to put Scott in the death predictions category or in the death category because I just know he's going to live. I just know it. Scott Gimple, I don't know if he's doing this to us, but I just know he's going to live. All right, Epic says, I am a little disappointed that we never got the Tower Death or Andrea comic death. For the Andrea comic death, I'm okay that they're not doing it yet. But as far as the Tower Death, yeah, I mean, missed opportunity. I mean, okay, if you guys, okay, who would you guys have given the Tower Death to? Can each of you just type in one character who you think could have gotten that death? It could be Gabriel. It could be Scott. It should have been Scott. I'm just saying, like seriously, like just please, or Alden, Aaron, just please give me somebody you think it should have been. And honestly, I'm okay that it wasn't Gabriel, but it just should have been someone. Just anybody could have gotten that death. Eastside says, love your reviews, Brian. Oh, thank you. I think you mean reviews, but yeah, I appreciate that, Eastside. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully, I'm gonna try and do both Fear and World Beyond, the reviews for them at the same time or every week. So yeah, hopefully I can get this all done. Chosen says, Dan, was Carol terribly written, or was she written to be hated? That is a good question, Chosen. I have no idea. Um, that is tough. Like Comic Negan was written to be hated, but show Negan in season 7 and 8 was just terribly written. So it's kind of hard to say for Carol. Dan says Andrea comic death would have been depressing for me, so I'm okay with no Andrea death, to be honest. Yeah, me too, Dan. It made sense in the comic, but in the show, there's like no one who can get that death. I'm sure there's maybe Rosita, but it's like, um, we hardly have, with Michonne gone, we hardly have any strong female characters left. And I mean from the original cast, not Magna and Yumiko. I'm talking about the OG cast. Eastside says, I was disappointed there was no major deaths in season 10, episode 16. That most likely means no more big character deaths for the remainder of the series. That's definitely possible, Eastside. I will say that I think that we could get like a big death, like maybe like a Negan, the death of Negan, like maybe in season 11 or something. Like maybe if the actor wanted to leave. I'm not really sure. But I will say that as far as like Carol, Daryl, we know they're safe. As far as Father Gabriel, Rosita, they're probably going to be safe too. I mean, who knows? Dan says Scott is stronger than both comic and TV beta together. Yeah, I know. Scott is one of the toughest characters in the show. I mean, seriously. Chosen says Scott is the cure. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how he is, but oh, and did you guys see that in I think I had a joke about that in my review. Scott was wearing body armor in the episode, and I'm just like, okay, like Scott, do you really need that? You know what I mean? And also I'm just thinking, I'm like, why does Father Gabriel have to stay behind and fight the Whisperers? Why can't it be Scott? He's bigger, he's taller than him. I mean, just it's like, come on, like seriously. Dan says, yeah, this finale could have used a death, I'll admit. Not Gabriel, though. He's too awesome to kill off. Yeah. Gabriel, I was perfectly fine that they didn't kill him off. And I don't know. I really thought they might kill him off. But, the ninja assassin guy saved him. And some people say it's Morgan, but I don't think so. I think it's a new character. And who knows? Maybe it's a future, I don't know. Maybe it's someone Maggie might get close to later. I don't know. No one will ever replace Glenn, but I mean, I'm not saying Maggie can, she can do whatever she wants. Epic says, by the way, I know a ton of you guys were expecting Gabe to die, but I was surprised that he lived. Yeah, me too, Epic. I really did not. I really thought Gabriel was going to die. I thought this was it. This was his time. We needed a big death, but no, it's crazy. Scott Gimple killed off characters left and right. Angela Kang, she is not killing off characters, right off the bat. You know what I mean? And I just realized I made a pun. Please forgive me for that because that was a terrible pun. Eastside says, saw on Movie Idol that the new Carol and Daryl spinoff will be them going to New Mexico, so they won't be going after Rick. Yeah, I don't know, Eastside. I mean, I still feel weird about the spinoff because Carol and Daryl, are they really going to leave Connie behind? Or, well, Daryl, is he really going to leave Connie behind? And are they really going to leave Judith and Maggie and just Rosita, Gabriel? Like, they're family, you know what I mean? I just don't get it. It honestly just feels very mean, you know what I mean, to do that to your family after all this time. Hey, Matt, he says, hello, lads. I'm glad you made it, man. Let's see. Dan says, it makes sense why they keep mentioning New Mexico now, though. Hopefully we'll actually see them going there at some point. Wondering what's going to happen in that show, though. Yeah, me too, Dan. Like, how many seasons can it go on? Because, won't Daryl and Carol want to go back? Will they meet new survivors? Is Carol going to keep adopting kids and then they die? I mean, I don't know. Is Lydia, what's with the relationship between Carol and Lydia now? Is it just going to go away? And, oh, by the way, so, Negan was, a father figure for Judith in season 9, but that completely goes away in season 10. You know what I mean? Judith had, no father figure in season 10. It was so weird. It's like Negan completely just went to Lydia instead. And Daryl, he was supposed to be a father figure for Lydia, but I don't know. Negan kind of took that over. So, I don't know what they're doing. It's kind of all over the place. Let's see. Eastside says, apparently Reedus and McBride were planning on leaving The Walking Dead after season 12 for the spinoff and then coming back to The Walking Dead. Reedus and McBride had no idea AMC was pulling the plug on The Walking Dead. Oh wow, I had no idea. I mean, that's crazy. Did AMC wait? Did they really think that The Walking Dead can not only go past season 12, but that they can just leave The Walking Dead, um, and then come back a few seasons later? You know what I mean? Because who was gonna run the show? I mean, with no Daryl and Carol, that is tough. I mean, yeah. Dan says Scott doesn't need armor. Yeah, I know exactly. He's got the strongest plot armor I've ever seen a character pretty much ever have. Like it's crazy. He has survived everything, and yet he didn't do anything. All those battles and wars. It's crazy. Matt says Fear season 6 actually looks good. Yeah, it does, Matt, but we have to see how they do it. Um, Chosen says, "What do you think episodes 17 and 22 will entail?" Great question, Chosen. I think that we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see Maggie in a few of those episodes, and then maybe Connie. So I think they're gonna be kind of spin-offs. Like we're gonna get like 3 episodes with Maggie after she leaves and before she comes back, and then we're gonna get maybe like 3 episodes to find out what happened to Connie. And then season 11 is gonna start. Um, I think so. We're not going to get the main cast like Daryl, Judith. So it's going to be like kind of like spin off episodes, but not with different characters. And by the way, I got to mention this. When Connie passed out, before she passed out, did you guys notice how Virgil was looking at her? Virgil did not look like he was concerned about this woman's, health, her state. Um, I think that I think we might see him become a kind of villain character, because let's be honest. Once again, Virgil. Okay, let's think about this, guys. After what happened with Michonne, do you really trust Virgil? Who? I mean, after Michonne, he now has another beautiful, African American woman, um, or is found, So I really think that unfortunately Connie might get the same treatment that Michonne got. I don't think she might. Okay, so I think she's for the most part going to be okay, but still, I just don't trust. Um, I do not trust Virgil one bit. He didn't look concerned for her. Like he wanted to help. He didn't look like that. Let's see. Dan says if they would have left the show, that would have really hurt the show, in my opinion. Definitely. Epic says, hey, do you think the masked guy is Cal or Eduardo? I don't think it's either, Epic. Think about this. He's wearing a mask, so, you know, I feel like it's probably going to be a new character. And you might say, well, that doesn't make sense. And it's like, yeah, that's true. But so like Beta had a mask, because he was a celebrity. So maybe this mask guy is just going to be, it's possible he could be a character we saw before, but having it be Cal or Eduardo, just, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to us. And plus, they might want to find an actor who was like really good. You know what I mean? A really good actor. So that's probably why they used a mask. Great question, Epic. Yeah, by the way, guys, I asked you guys, but you didn't answer. Who would you have given the tower death? If they were going to do the tower death, who would you have given it to? Because I really want to see you guys, what you guys think, what your replies are. Let's see. Dan says, I got my eye in fear, though. I can't trust the show until I actually see episodes. Yeah, and it stinks that the premiere is going to be probably focused on All Morgan. Epic says, I can't see Daryl leaving Dog behind. I mean, that's his best friend. Yeah, that's true, Epic, but man, like Daryl has like done very little with Dog in the second half. Chosen says it. They said it's a Carol and Daryl show. That doesn't mean they can't have other characters like Connie or Lydia. Yeah, that's true, but if it's a Carol and Daryl show, then they're probably gonna take off. But Connie, I can't see. Okay, so I don't even know if Daryl has his bike anymore, but I don't think you can fit 3 or 4 people on a bike. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Eastside says Movie Idol brought up that they could revisit Herschel's farm and the prison. That would be interesting. Yeah, Eastside, but why would they go there? Those places are abandoned. Any food that survived is beyond spoiled. There's nothing really they can do at those places. You know what I mean? Like, what would be the purpose of going back to those places? Besides nostalgia, which, is not really a reason. Dan says, I'm definitely worried that Maggie is going to kick Negan out, though. No. Yeah, I definitely think that's going to happen, Dan. We need conflict in season 11. The Commonwealth is not enough conflict. Eastside Badger said that they should have kept Beta. We need, so I agree with him that we definitely need more conflict in season 11 than just the Commonwealth. But Beta, I don't think so. But we definitely need something. Epic says, in a way, Daryl is like a distant uncle to Judith. Yeah, I guess so. But if he like leaves her behind, then that's like really, um, distant. Matt says, Maggie doesn't have the right to do that. Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, I'm so torn. That's what I love about The Walking Dead. Like Maggie had her chance. That was her moment right there to kill Negan in season 9, and she passed it up. And now it's like, okay, well, I guess she's gonna maybe not kill him, but she might be like, okay, well, he cannot be free or something. Or she might say he can't live with us. Dan says he also said that we could see an old Shane in the field. That would be crazy. Um, hmm. But he would just be bones, Dan. That's crazy. Shane would just be a pile of bones. Dan says Maggie got her chance to kill Negan, in my opinion. Yeah, she kind of did. They should give a chance for Herschel. Should get his chance. You know what I mean? Maggie passed it. It should pass to Herschel, or something. Eastside says that would be Dan. Imagine seeing some walkers that were characters. Here comes Jimmy. Oh wow, yeah, Jimmy or Patricia. No, Jimmy. No, Jimmy can't be a walker, unfortunately, because when the barn burned down, the RV burned down too, and so did Jimmy's body. Yeah, if you didn't know that, Eastside, that's actually what happened. I think they confirmed that. But yeah, Dan says Connie better be okay. I'm so done with Virgil. He's just not an interesting character, in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely, Dan. That's why he's in the top. That's why I put him in like the top, 10 worst characters. He's cowardly. He kidnaps people. I mean, just what is this character? Let's see. Epic says, "Oh, Virgil, I hate him. Such a terrible character." Definitely. Esad says, "I agree, Dan. Virgil is a waste of space." Oh wow. Um, man, you guys, I love this. You're all on the hate Virgil train. Love it. It's well deserved. Dan says, "Yeah, that would be great. Eastside seeing the farm again would also be amazing." And you say Virgil should have stayed gone. No one would have missed him. LOL. Yeah, that's true. But in terms of the story, they did. I guess having him kind of save Connie is a good purpose to the story. But yeah, um, they need to get rid of him as far as a character, because I don't trust him. With Connie. Let's see. The Chosen says, although possible, I don't see Virgil as a villain. He would be a very lame one. Yeah, but the show has done lame villains. But I also don't see him as a good guy because he have a lot of those. Oh, we have a lot of those already, and we have more to come. Yeah, that's true, Chosen. Let's see. And you say, I guess Virgil could be a small villain for the next 6 episodes. Yeah, maybe 3, but still. Oh wow. Okay, so Dan says Tower Dev Scott if I was writing it. Oh, definitely. Um, Same Dan. Let's see. Eastside says the Tower Def. I agree with Dan. Scott. Okay, so Scott, that's two. Actually, that's 3 votes now, including me. Matt says the Tower Def would be Alden for me. Okay, that's a good one too, Matt. Definitely. If it can't be Scott, Alden would be a good one. Because let's be honest, what did Alden do this season? I mean, he fought a couple Whisperers with Aaron, in the finale, but like Alden had like no character development and like hardly any scenes this season. So yeah, talk about not a you know a character. He didn't get a lot of screen time. Dan says Scott is the first person that pops up in my head as an idea. Yeah, I definitely can't wait to see what you do with him in your season 7 rewrites of All Out War, Dan. Because I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, is Dan gonna kill him off or give him screen time? Because that's honestly either one is still better than what they're doing with him now. Dan says Alden needs to get more screen time, in my opinion. Yeah, I just said that. I mean, like he has had like nothing this season. You know what I mean? Like I mean, hardly any talks with any characters. He talked with Earl a little bit, but still, he was with Gamma a little bit, but that like went nowhere. You know what I mean? Chosen says Luke as Tower Dev. That's a good one. That's a good one, Chosen, because like, can we please talk about how no one from Magna's group has died yet? There's still Magna, Kelly, Yumiko, Luke, and Connie, and man, just not a single death from them. Still, it's been 2 seasons, and not one person from that group has died. Epic says Beta, his death was perfect in my opinion. I wouldn't change it. Yeah, yeah, I agree, Epic. Dan says I hate how Negan. I'm here for. Wait, I hate how Negan. I'm here for now. Me, don't go. Oh, okay. Don't go, Negan. You're literally the most entertaining character on the show. Yeah. Matt says, imagine if Herschel killed Negan out of nowhere like AJ. Yeah, that would be. I keep thinking like that could happen. I, in a way, would like to see that because that would be so interesting. Um, you know what I mean? Just people reacting to it would be like, "Whoa, whoa, Herschel, what did you do?" You know, they would freak out. They would be mad at him. But it's like, but this is a kid. You know, this is an 8-year-old kid, and it's like, and plus they could always develop Herschel to where, like in the comic, maybe Maggie never really spent a whole lot of time with him, and having to grow up without a father. I mean, maybe they can do it like with AJ, where he's a little messed up in the head. You know, he didn't have a normal life. You know what I mean? Just he developed issues. I mean, for Pete's sake, Maggie was pregnant with him, and went through traumatizing things like losing Glenn, and she went to war. I mean, what that does something to a child before they're born. You know. Um, Matt says, I feel it coming in the extended episodes. Yeah, they definitely need to address in season 11 or in the 6 episodes. They need to address the whole Maggie and Negan thing, and they need to bring Herschel back. I want to see him. Dan says, yeah, Virgil hurt Michonne. If you hurt Michonne, you deserve to be killed off. Yeah, and plus he did it for such a stupid reason. I mean, come on. Eastside says, I bet Daryl and Carol will leave everyone behind. Why wouldn't they? No real ties. Daryl spent years in the woods looking for Rick, and Carol spent so much time at the kingdom, and she's not close to anyone. Yeah, that's a good point, Eastside. Like Jerry and his family, they're like the last people from the kingdom, and uh, they're the only people that Carol really hugs. And for Daryl, I mean, okay, well, here's the thing: Daryl is still close with Maggie, with Connie, Dog, Judith. So him leaving would kind of be weird for Carol. Yes, the whole kingdom thing, but she still has Daryl. So if Daryl stays, and so should she. So it's kind of weird. Epic says, my opinion, they should have only had Connie appear and run into Daryl. Um, yeah, they should have had something. There could have. I don't know. We have to see what they do, but yeah, I don't like that Connie is now with Virgil. I don't like that. They should have done something else, a different character, maybe someone we haven't seen in a while. Like I'm just kidding. Like Gage. Oh my gosh, what if Gage pops out of nowhere? Um, Dan says, I agree. Eastside Carol has almost nothing left other than Daryl. Um, let's see. Eastside says, Daryl and Carol make sure everyone is safe at the Commonwealth and then leave. I doubt Daryl would fit in at the Commonwealth. Yeah, absolutely. He didn't even fit out Alexandria. So, yeah. Epic says Alden is by far the most useless character in The Walking Dead. Dan says Alden is trying to be Scott. Oh, that's a good one, Dan. Yeah, Alden and Scott just nothing. They're not doing anything. Matt says, all right, guys, I'm going to bounce. Oh, okay, Matt. Well, thanks for coming to my stream. I appreciate all of the comments and the support and your thoughts. Yeah, Matt, take care. Have a good night. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Let's see. Chosen says characters like Alden, Aaron, Rosita, etc. Have been getting less story. Where's Jerry's story? Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to see Jerry and Beta fight. That would have been so cool. I don't know, just something. Jerry definitely needed more action in the Whisper War. He deserved that. For Alden, they could kill him off. Aaron, yeah, they could have done more. And Rosita, what was she doing in the finale? That was weird. Dan says, you guys will be shocked on what I do with Scott in my rewrites. I just know it. Yeah, you're gonna give him screen time. I just know it, Dan. And you're actually gonna give him a purpose in the story. Like maybe he shoots a savior and and saves Rick. You know what I mean? Like that would be crazy. I mean, Scott saves Rick. I mean, Rick Grimes. Let's see. Eastside says Rosita gets almost no screen time either. Yeah, I get. I okay. So they probably didn't. Angela King probably didn't want to kill her off, but still, Angela King has got to do something with Rosita. Um, just something. Dan says, poor Rosita, we need more of her. Yeah. Let's see. Eastside says, no one from Magnus Group will ever die. They're Kang's terrible casting, and it wouldn't be PC to kill them off. I don't know, Eastside. I mean, they killed off Tara, and um, she was one of the most PC characters on the show. But I see what you mean. All right, so you okay? So the only PC characters from Magnus Group are, um, it's only Kelly, Magna, and Yumiko, which is actually most of them. Um, but yeah, they got to kill off someone from that group. Um, yeah, I don't know. You know what? I'm sorry, kill off Kelly. Okay, Kelly is with Connie coming back. Just kill off Kelly. Epic says, like, I'm confused. Where was Herschel, her son, in the finale when Maggie appeared? Oh, where was Herschel? Yeah. I think that Herschel was with Georgie. So Maggie probably left him with Georgie. But yeah, it's like Maggie, once again, I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe they might set it up to where Herschel is, like, constantly left behind by Maggie when she goes places. And I don't know, just I get it, but did Maggie know there was going to be a war? I don't know. It's because she only brought one guy. You know what I mean? And yes, that guy he was awesome, but still. Dan says, no matter how Negan goes, I'll be sad. He did some horrible things, but his death is going to be devastating. Absolutely. Dan says, how is Kelly still alive? Like, seriously. I don't know, Dan. Her plot armor is strong, and not only that, but Daryl is protecting her, so yeah. If Daryl protects you, you are pretty safe. Um, let's see. Eastside says, Negan got payback, Dan. Our group had it coming. Ooh, Eastside. I don't know if you want to say that. You might start something. Um, let's see. Dan says, exactly, Eastside. It seems we're the only ones here that think that LOL proved me if I'm wrong, though, guys. I'm not sure. Eastside says Negan was a visionary. Simon was the bad guy. Simon was a real villain in season 7 and 8. Negan, a little bit in 7, not much in 8. The Chosen says, normally I don't ship the two, but I felt something from Norman's acting when Carol and Daryl spoke about New Mexico. Daryl had slight smiles and nudged his head back a bit. Don't know yet, but yeah. Oh, don't know why, but okay. I thought you were gonna try to say yet. Should have known you were saying why. Yeah, I don't ship Carol and Daryl either. I don't see the ship. I don't see it. I refuse to believe it, honestly. They have known each other for 11 years. It would have happened. You know what I mean? Dan says, agreed. Simon was a great villain for season 8. Dan says, by the way, guys, I'd like to know, am I the only one who got the deluxe Walking Dead comic? Just wondering who else got it. I definitely did not get it, Dan. I forgot, and I don't know if I can get it. I've been really busy lately, and yeah, I've been really tight with my money. I've been trying to save up like crazy. Eastside says Negan and Rick are the exact same person, just different leadership styles. They're both equally violent. Absolutely, Eastside. They're like opposite sides of a coin. They're still made of the same metal. They're just, one side is a different spot. Epic says, like, it's crazy that Maggie missed the whole Whisper arc. WTF. She killed one Whisperer, though. She killed one Whisperer. She came in at the very last second, and now Maggie can put it on her zombie apocalypse resume. Fought in the Whisper War. Even though it was only one single kill at the very end. Dan says Maggie and Alpha would have been cool to see since Carol was too crazy to even get a chance to kill her. Yeah. Oh, wow. We have been going on for 40 minutes. Okay, guys. So I think I think I want to continue for another 20 or so minutes. But yeah, because like I said, this is gonna be kind of a shorter stream. I don't think I can make it to an hour and 40 minutes, but uh, yeah. Um, okay, so it's got to be something. Okay. Um, hey, Epic. So Epic, have you seen my review for the finale yet? I don't remember if you said yes or no. Eastside says Maggie versus Alpha. That would have been interesting. Yeah, I love Maggie's new look. Her new black cowboy. No, sorry, cowgirl outfit. I mean, that was just like wow. Um, it's crazy. Maggie is. She is 33 years old now, and um, yeah. I mean, just wow. Dan says, yeah, I'm wondering if I should still review the deluxe comics. I'll see how the next review goes. And you say 20 minutes is perfect for me, man. Oh, okay, that's good. Um, let's see. Eastside says, I agree, Dan. And Epic says, no, not yet, bro. Uh, I'm sorry, Epic. I'll try to go past, maybe I can go past a little bit over an hour, but not too much. We'll see how it goes, how much attention we have, how many people are still here. Dan says, yeah, it's something I would have liked to see how it would have gone. Hmm. Oh, yeah, Carol, Maggie, and Alpha. Yeah, that would have been interesting. Chosen says, excited to see Pamela, Mercer, and Sebastian. Pamela, I'm mixed about. Mercer, definitely. And Sebastian, no way. I am going to dread seeing Sebastian on the show. Pamela, I don't really know. She wasn't that great for me when I was reading the comic, so I'm not really sure. But I am excited to get more Commonwealth characters. Epic says, I'm hoping Maggie will be awesome in season 11. Oh, I hope so, Epic, because she ditched the group, for years, and she ditched us for years. So yeah, hopefully she has to be awesome, or hopefully she's awesome in the final season. Eastside says, I noticed on Talking Dead that Cohan is aging a bit. Whoa, really? Isn't she like 37 right now or something? Dan says, I gotta say though, Maggie was awesome in season 10, episode 16. Epic says, by the way, saving Maggie saving Gabe makes TV Maggie better than the comic version. Um, kind of. Okay. So Maggie was always better than the comic version, but Maggie in the comic, she fought in the Whisper War too. You know what I mean? Um, like she was there when the Whisperers burned down the hilltop, whereas in the show, Maggie kind of ditched them. Let's be honest, guys. Um, let's see. Eastside says she was Dan. Just wish we had gotten a longer scene though. Yeah, this whole episode could have been a longer. You know what I mean? I wish we gotten more time with some of the characters. Let's see. Dan says Lauren Cohan is definitely getting a bit older. Crazy to see. Even Norman as well. Oh wow. And you say Lauren is 39. Okay, so I was close. But yeah, that's crazy, man. She's 39. Wow. Huh. Dan says, yeah, Maggie could have had more scenes. Uh, Chosen says, wish we saw Lance. We'll see him in season 11. Lance, I don't really care too much. He was not that great of a character. Epic says, I mean, she did redeem herself. She left for 7 years, and then she comes back and saves Gabe. Yeah, that's true, but um, still, it's a little bit of a. It's still a little bit like Maggie. Where have you been? Um, oh yeah, like it's funny. If you guys haven't seen it in my review, I have Father Gabriel telling Maggie like, "We're so glad you're here," and Maggie says like, "I know, I saw the ratings." You know what I mean? Like, um, I don't know how much viewership this episode got. I haven't checked it, but I think I would say the finale did pretty good, but not as good. The ratings are still slipping, unfortunately. Eastside says, "Wow, almost 40. Didn't know that." Yeah, I know, Eastside. I mean, Lauren Cohan is beautiful. So, and Maggie, I mean, just a beautiful character. So it's kind of hard to picture that. You know what I mean? But let's be honest. I mean, Norman Reedus, he's like 50 something. You know what I mean? Just Even Jeffrey Dean Morgan is too. I mean, just yeah. Um, okay, let's see. Dan says, I wonder if we'll see an old Maggie like in the comics in 193, wondering what's that going to look like. And we are lucky we'll see an older look for Rick as well. Please, Andrew. Yeah, kind of, Dan. Here's the thing, though. I don't want them to make Maggie look too old. That was scary. In the comic books, when issue 193 came out and I saw how Maggie looked at 43 years old, you know what I mean? Or 44, whatever. She was in her 40s. I I was scared. You know what I mean? The Maggie, beautiful, and then looks like that after 20 years. Yes, it's an apocalypse, but she is only in her early 40s, so that was scary. You know what I mean? She looked like she was in her 50s. I kind of hope they don't do that in the show. Not too much. Don't make her look too old. You know what I mean? Yeah, just it doesn't work. You can't. I don't know. A woman in her 40s should not look like she's in her 50s, like late 50s. You know what I mean? Just please don't. Please don't. Epic says, I will say I love the Commonwealth, but they did feel a little cartoony. Um, I'm fine with them, Epic, because we had Negan, we had Ezekiel, and we have Princess. I mean, the Commonwealth is the least cartoony thing I think the show has given us. Let's be honest. Um, oh wow. I can't believe I just realized this. Guys, we have not had any trolls. Okay, hopefully I don't jinx myself, but guys, we have had no trolls come. This is like back to the old days again. Um, oh man, I love it. I can't believe I haven't noticed this. This is great. Um, okay, so if trolls start coming in, um, I might have to end the stream. But right now, let's try and keep this going. Chosen says the Commonwealth characters were not the greatest, but I believe they will be amazing in the show. Sebastian will be annoying, but he is meant to be, so they better make him really annoying. Need to hate. Yeah, that's true. As long as they don't do it like they did with Nicholas. Like for Nicholas, they completely butchered his character. You know what I mean? Uh, they made Nicholas in the show a coward, a weasel, but also that he was trying to redeem himself, and none of it worked. They just need to stay away from that. Dan says, yeah, Maggie in 193 threw me off a bit. Absolutely, Dan. She looks scary. I mean, just what in the world? Like, Maggie, like, use some, I don't know, moisturizer or something. Like, Epic says, also, I find it strange how they ignored Ezekiel cancer this episode. Yeah, that's true. It wasn't a big thing. Eastside says Kang has to be careful with the Commonwealth. It could turn viewers off if it's too cringy. I don't think they have to worry about that, Eastside, because right now, well, in World Beyond, we kind of had a taste of sort of the Commonwealth style, of a story, for The Walking Dead, and um, wow, we have not talked about World Beyond at all. I just noticed that. I'm guessing you guys didn't want to talk about it. But yeah, Eastside, I don't think that's an issue. It's just that the Commonwealth arc is really boring. There's not a lot of conflict. Dan says Princess is actually awesome so far. I like the actress so far. I gotta say, she's doing a great job. Yeah, I agree, Dan. Still wish they could have made her realistic looking, but it's fine. Um, Chosen says Princess was funny in her minimal lines. That's kind of true. Especially the part where she was talking to Eugene. Eastside says, I really like the princess. She is great. Okay, so we're all in agreement. The princess in the show is doing much better than the comic version did. Eastside says, hopefully Maggie will age better in the show. Yeah, absolutely, Dan. Please, just, uh, I mean, like, I know we have Alicia, but Maggie is like, the second. So please just don't ruin the second, AMC, don't ruin the second. Um, all right, so yeah. Um, I don't know. Who do you guys think the masked assassin is? Do you guys think it's Morgan? Because I don't think so. I think it's going to be a new character, and they just need to get an actor, for season 11. You know what I mean? Um, what else? Eastside says Kang what has went cringe with Magnus Group. Need I say more? Yeah, that's true. Magnus Group is pretty cringe. Um, but Okay, I mean they're not. But still, the Commonwealth is not as cringy as Magnus Group or Negan or Ezekiel or the Princess. Um, but yeah, Magnus Group is pretty cringy. Very true, Eastside. Yeah, I just don't get it. Magna, just not the right actress. Yumiko, the actress is fine. Kelly, big mistake there. Luke and Connie, perfect. You know what I mean? I just don't understand. I don't know if Angela King thought it was a good idea, but Magna and Kelly, just why did she think that was a good idea? Let's see. The Chosen says, "Do you think Princess will form a relationship with Mercer?" Yeah, I think so. Or will Yumiko instead? I don't think so, Chosen, because Yumiko is she's gay. So unless they say she's bi, which I don't think so. Um, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be Princess. Dan says Masked Person is a new character in my opinion. Nothing from the comics, from what I can tell. Yeah, he is kind of similar to Mercer, I would say, like kind of like a shorter Mercer. But I will say it can't be Mercer. It just cannot be. He doesn't have the armor. It's not going to work. I think it's a brand new TV only character, and yeah. Let's see. Epic says, I'm hoping Daryl punches Sebastian. Yeah, absolutely. Let's all tell AMC, Daryl better punch Sebastian in season 11. Eastside says, the masked assassin. I doubt it's Morgan either, but I have no idea who it could be. Yeah, it can't be Morgan because I'm sorry, Maggie has seen Morgan. You know what I mean? Uh, she would have made it clear it was Morgan. You know what I mean? So it's not Morgan. I don't know where these theories keep coming from. Some people say it's Dwayne. Some people said it was Herschel. And I'm like, guys, Herschel's 8 years old. Okay, as much as I would love Maggie and Glenn's 8-year-old son to be a super tall tomahawk, whisperer killing assassin, I just don't see it. I wish, but I don't see it. Dan says Yumiko is growing on me, to be honest. I like her so far. Yeah, me too, Dan. They should they should keep going with her like this. Give her Michonne's comic arc and end the show. It's perfect the way it is. Yumiko, maybe not the greatest actress for her, but pretty good, I would say. But everyone else in Magnus Group could use some work, except Connie and Luke. The Chosen says, facts, totally forgot about Yumiko and Magna, lol. Dan says, yeah, the relationship is almost not existent, lol. Yeah, I know. It's just, uh, the relationship, I didn't hate it. I just didn't care. You know what I mean? Um, I just felt like the relationships, like, you should care about them. These new characters, because they're in a relationship. I don't care. Dan says, nah, Morgan is going to stay in that boring show. Yeah, that's true. Iset says, Dan, Yumiko is just a mix of Carol, Michonne, and Maggie. Kurtman and Kane got lazy. Yeah, wait, so Carol, how is she like Carol? Michonne, definitely. She has the lawyer thing going on. Maggie, I'm not sure. Epic says also that soldier that they zoom in on his eyes, some people think that's Rick. No, I don't think so. Um, there's no way that can be Rick because Rick, that guy, the soldier looked kind of young, and Rick, I think would have a lot more. Um, Rick has scars. He would probably have like some wrinkles and stuff. He's getting older, so I don't think so. Um, I mean, no. Let's see. The Chosen says, I saw a theory that Felix from World Beyond is the masked person. There's reasons why, but I didn't read because I haven't seen it. Yeah, it's a good. Okay, so it's a good theory, Chosen, because it could work. But there's a few problems with it. So one is, in order for it to work, they would have to get rid of Felix. They would have to have him disappear in season one, and then move him over into The Walking Dead, because the timelines are not. They're not to get. They're a little bit far apart. So World Beyond is 10 years in the apocalypse, and The Walking Dead right now is almost 11 years in. So they could make it work, but they have to. They would have to explain it. Dan says, "Yeah, I get what you mean. Yumiko could still be better. Yeah, definitely." Epic says, "Man, there are a lot of dumb people in the Walking Dead fandom." Uh, yeah, yeah. I mentioned Herschel and Dwayne. Yeah, I mean, it's like, guys, Dwayne is dead. Herschel is not the masked assassin. He's too, he's too young and too short, I would assume. Epic says also he would have recognized Eugene. Yeah, that's true. Unless the CRM brainwashed him. No, no. Okay, so the Commonwealth doesn't brainwash people, but I think the CRM does. And also, it's like, it wouldn't work because Rick's with the CRM. In the Commonwealth, they have different armor. They're a completely different group. They look similar. They have some similar ideas, but they're very different. The CRM are pure evil. They're the Illuminati, you know what I mean, in the Walking Dead world. That somehow survived. That is what I think they are. Absolutely. But the Commonwealth, they are just people who worked hard to get to where they are. You know what I mean? Eastside says Yumiko's attitude is the mix of all three. And remember, Andrea was a lawyer as well. Yeah, that's true. Dan says, it's not Rick. Come on, people, give us a real theory to work with here. I know, Dan. It's so hard to come up with a real plausible theory because it requires, thinking. You know what I mean? Dan says, yeah, they could have made her more original, in my opinion. Yeah, I guess. But it's even worse in the comic. I mean, Yumiko has like no personality in the comic, or she's kind of like Princess, I guess. So that's kind of lame. Um. Okay, so yeah, Father Gabriel and Rosita, they're still together, and I still don't get the relationship between them. Oh yeah, so guys, when Judith was looking at Maggie, how many of you loved that scene? When Judith and Maggie, they see each other, they hug. You know what I mean? It really feels like some people say that, oh no, Maggie's only been gone for a year. There is no way. There is just no way. Maggie has been gone, maybe not 7 years, but Maggie has been gone a couple at least. Let's see. Epic says one thing that's cool about The Walking Dead World Beyond is that it's set in Nebraska, and that was referenced in season 2 of the main show. Yeah, that's true. Dan says Yumiko is better in the show, in my opinion. She was a female Scott in the comics. Yeah, that's true, Dan. Absolutely. Any Scott in the show or comic, they got to get rid of. Let's be honest. Um, so yeah, the scene with Maggie and Judith, I loved it. Um, but yeah, people still forget. But it's crazy that Maggie it was the one to kill Lori. You know what I mean? Like, um, it's such a cool scene between them, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, Maggie killed her mother, you know what I mean? But she did it to deliver Judith because it's either Lori, you know what I mean? It was either Judith die in the womb or kill Lori right then and there. So Maggie didn't have a choice, but I'm just saying, like, that's still what happened. Dan says that Maggie and Judith scene was great. Absolutely. But why did she forget her RJ? You know what I mean? She, like, didn't even look in his direction. So I don't think Maggie might not even know who RJ is. You know what I mean? Chosen says, wouldn't it be shocking if Morgan was in the Commonwealth somehow? They would have to explain that, Chosen. And they would have to end Fear the Walking Dead. They would have to make the timelines right, and they would have to get Lenny James into the Commonwealth in the main show again. So I don't know. Good theory, but I don't know how. Eastside says, has anyone thought that Rick might enjoy the company of the CRM instead of the Alexandrians? Seriously, he didn't know about RJ and Judith isn't his. CRM might be a better place to be. I'm sorry, Eastside, but definitely not. Okay, so hear me out. One, the CRM are pure evil, first off. And two, Judith is not Rick's, but he said that she was his still. So he has to honor that. And two, Michonne's still his girlfriend. So, yeah. And enjoy the company of the CRM. I don't know. Plus, this would be a huge betrayal of the Rick character. I mean, everyone would be furious at Rick if they found out he could have came back any time but chose not to. I mean, they would be furious. Dan says Morgan in the Commonwealth would completely throw me off. Yeah, me too, Dan. It stinks on the show they can't have somebody reunite with someone in the Commonwealth, but that's just how it is. Let's see. Epic says that was a powerful moment. Maggie and Judith. Also, you can briefly see Dog in the background. Oh, okay. I didn't notice that. I have to rewatch that. But thank you, Epic. The Chosen says, don't think Rick would leave Michonne and Judith. He loves them both, even if Judith is not his. Yeah, that's true. He established that. Dan says, CRM did something to Rick. I'm dying to find out. Hurry up, Gimple. LOL. Yeah, Gimple needs to finish up with that movie. I mean, seriously. Like, I mean, look, The Walking Dead, it's filming again. You know what I mean? Shows are filming again. Just do it. The CRM, it has to happen. Like, we need the movies, and they need to explain what's happened. Like, okay, so I don't know if I'm the first person to come up with this, but like I said, if you guys hear the theory, it should come from me. It should come from me. Rick has to have been brainwashed. I'm sorry, there's no other alternative. Amnesia, bad. That's bad. Like, that's not gonna work. Rick choosing not to go back, that's also bad. Brainwashing is the only thing that makes sense. Um, let's see. Epic says, like, yeah, at the end of World Beyond, I was like, I don't trust these guys. Yeah, absolutely. Chosen says, was the blue spray revealed in World Beyond? Yeah, they revealed it. Did you watch it, Chosen? Um, I'm trying to remember if you uploaded your review for World Beyond, but like, I've watched so many reviews this week. I lost track. Eastside says, girlfriends wait, girlfriends are like buses. One leaves, and another will be by shortly. Yeah, Eastside, but come on, who can Rick be with that's even better than Michonne? You know what I mean? And we're not talking about Alicia. She's not in the CRM, so yeah, um, yeah, just no. Also, Rick is a great character, but no way. Stay away from Alicia, Rick. Um, Eastside says Lori dies, and a year later, Rick's already on his second girlfriend. Oh, yeah, that's true. But, I mean, he waited a year. Dan says, agreed, Brian, they did something to Rick because if he had the chance to leave for Alexandria, he would have taken his chance, in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely. They had to have brainwashed Rick. That there's no other alternative. And it's crazy. Maybe they even give Rick a new name. You know what? Yeah, maybe they gave him a new identity. Maybe they called him, your name is Jeffrey Barnes or something like that, and he has this new fake identity ID. And they even tell him something like, we found you by yourself, exhausted on the brink of death. We saved you. You know what I mean? Just pure brainwash. Okay, actually, that's not 100% lie. Rick was on the brink of death. Let's see. Chosen says, no, I didn't watch it. Yeah, we don't want to spoil it, Chosen, but you should, I think you should watch the premiere of World Beyond. It's a pretty good premiere, like an 8 out of 10, or 8.5 out of 10. Um, let's see. Epic says, but yeah, if Alpha's death was the nail in the coffin, then Beta, his death, was the final nail in the coffin for the Whisperers. Yeah, that's true. The Whisperers they're done. They're gonzo. I mean, just absolutely. Um, oh yeah, so I mentioned, so if you guys watched my review for the episode, I mentioned how like Eugene was once again surrounded by a group of armed men in the woods, and plus the whole train tracks things. It was like very similar to Terminus, and I had Eugene be like, "Not again," and then I put I put a joke, like I took a picture from SpongeBob, the show, and just put it at at the very end of, or close to the end of my review. And I don't know, I just love that part. Eugene's face, he's completely terrified, you know what I mean? But it's also kind of like that, maybe that like, oh, how did I get myself in this, Um Dan says Rick would be like, yeah, I was dying, so where's my people? Yeah, exactly. Rick would be, I mean, it's been 7 years. What has Rick been doing all this time? And some people say, oh, he was a prisoner. The CRM would have killed him if he was a prisoner for 7 years. They would have been like, okay, that's we're tired of him as a prisoner. People would get tired eventually. Uh, so like there's got to be something else. Eastside says Michonne is top quality, but in that world, I don't know if loyalty is a real thing when it comes to love. It should be Eastside. I mean, look at Maggie. You know what? Yeah, look at Maggie. She has been a widow for like almost 9 years. I mean, and she's never been with another guy besides Glenn. I mean, that is loyalty. You know what I mean? Epic says also Beatrice, her death was brutal. Some people complain why Carol didn't help her. Uh, uh, if she helped Beatrice, Carol would have died. Yeah, that is true. Um I don't get Carol's face though. Like, was she upset? Because yeah, I mean, um she did need to go back for the bag, you know what I mean? Um but yeah, Beatrice's death was brutal. I couldn't even watch it. I mean, just no, I couldn't. I didn't really care for her character, but come on, that is like a whoa death, you know? Dan says train tracks are bad luck in The Walking Dead. I agree with Daryl. I ain't taking no tracks. Yeah, that's true. Dan says Beatrice was the only deaf on our side. Weak episode deaf wise, in my opinion, but one of my only problems with the finale. Yeah, and don't forget, you forgot Oscar. Man, rest in peace, Oscar. Said no one ever. Let's see. Chosen says, why was Beatrice's backpack important again? Uh, well, Chosen, remember, they put let's see, not radio, but they put like a speaker in it, and they needed that for the wagon. They needed to draw the walkers with like a song, a CD player, or whatever, and they were using stereos. So yeah, Epic says nobody deserves to get devoured by walkers except Jared, except him. Yeah, I agree, Epic, except Jared. We all know that Jared deserved it. Chosen says she's a beast for only caring about the backpack, though. Yeah, that is true. The fact that she thought of the others before her, there's not a lot of characters like that. Or at least I feel like there isn't. Like, where was this development? Where was this Beatrice before? You know what I mean? We should have gotten more Beatrice before she died. The fact that she was this caring of a person, I mean, let's see. Eastside says we don't know what Maggie has been doing. She could be with another dude now. Yeah, she could be with the assassin guy. I mean, that would be such an interesting relationship. You know what I mean? Glenn was the moral compass of the group, and now Maggie is with this silent ninja assassin. That would be funny. Dan says, Oscar, rest in peace, buddy. Good knowing you. Well, not really. Yeah, that is funny, Dan. Yeah, it's just like he's been around. It's crazy. He's been around since season 7, I think. But, like Beatrice, but they still have not done anything with him. Epic says, also, man, I think Sydney and Rachel are the last two left from Oceanside. Yeah, from season 7, but we still have Jules. And yeah, where is Sydney? She was in season 10 a little bit, but then she just disappeared. Dan says Maggie needs to explain herself a bit on where she's been. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I still don't know. So if Maggie wasn't with the Commonwealth, what was she doing with Georgie, and how will this new community play in? You know what I mean? Because whatever community Georgie's in, Herschel is with her. That's most likely the case. So we need to see how this new community. So there's the CRM, there's the Commonwealth, and then there's Georgie's community. You know what I mean? We need to see if Maggie knows about the Commonwealth. Does she know anything about the CRM? Just like we need some facts. I would love it if Maggie pulled up the symbol of the CRM and said, like, we found this on a body or something like that. Or maybe she says, I found this somewhere. Just like give us some explanation. And Maggie is like, I don't know what it means. Like just give us something out, for what Maggie's been doing all this time. Wow, it has been an hour and 9 minutes. Um, yeah, I don't have to end it yet. If you guys have to go, I would completely understand. I still have a little bit of time. We can talk a little bit more. Let's see. Dan says, oh wait, if Georgie is not Pamela, what's her purpose, honestly? Yeah, I agree, Dan. Maybe just to get Maggie out of the show back in season 9. But yeah, I mean, just what in the world? Let's see. Epic says, but yeah, I totally see Maggie's son hating Negan. Yeah, I definitely think they should do a story like that, Epic. Like maybe, like I don't know, maybe like where Maggie was, maybe Herschel never, like maybe he got picked on by the other kids because he didn't have a father. Like, you know what I mean? And just have a reason for Herschel hating Negan besides he killed his father before he was born. Have it, have it be where Herschel is, unfortunately, a victim because of certain situations. You know what I mean? Maggie has been, I don't know, doing whatever with Georgie, and I don't know, being partners, I guess. And so yeah, maybe Herschel has been by himself a lot. They need to make Herschel very interesting, relatable, and sympathetic. So, and I know it's going to be tough. They're going to have to get a really great 8-year-old actor to play him, but they have to do it. They just have to. And as far as hating Negan, like, yeah, he doesn't have to hate Negan immediately. But when he finds out that this is the Negan that killed his father, just, I don't know, like maybe years of just hatred, just building up, has been building up and just explodes. You know what I mean? Just anything. I don't know. Chosen says Jules is from Oceanside. Yeah, I know. It's so weird that she appeared in season 10 though. Like, where was she in season 8 and season 9? Like, where was she? I don't know. That's so weird. Okay, guys. It looks like the stream is starting to slow down a bit. Yeah. Oh yeah. In my reviews for World Beyond and the finale, I made the intro louder. I remember that, or the song I was playing. So yeah, I'm gonna try and keep doing that. Chosen says we might get Herschel, Gracie, RJ, and Judith scenes. Yes, I would love to see that. Chosen. Just all the kids. That would be awesome to see. Dan says crazy to think we are gonna see a lot of screen time for Herschel in the show. Hopefully more screen time and better than in the comics. Absolutely, Dan. I cannot stress how much I hated what they did with Herschel in the comics. So I really hope that they have Herschel. He's not some wimp kid, you know what I mean? He knows how to shoot, but maybe he's never killed a walker or a person before. But still, like, just have it where he knows how to shoot, and he knows how to run from walkers, and you know what I mean? Just something. Dan says, "Wow, though, this is one of the best streams in a while." Yeah, I know, Dan. It's crazy. No trolls, not a single troll. I love it. I love it so much. Epic says it's just weird they've been slowly killing the main Oceanside women in season 7. Um, yeah, it is kind of weird, Epic, but it makes sense. Oceanside it's all women, and not only that, but the show has had. I think the show has like more women characters than men. So it kind of makes sense why they're starting to. It seems like there's more female deaths than male deaths in the story. Because yeah, I mean the cast is. It kind of feels like it's like 60% women now. You know what I mean? Let's see. Wait, where is my phone? Hold on. Let me just check on my. Be right back, guys. I'm still here. Hold on. All right, guys, I'm back. You know what? Yeah, I can probably go on for another, who knows, 10 minutes or maybe hit the hour and 40-minute mark. I know I said it was going to be a short stream, but honestly, this has been so good. I don't know if I can. Dan says Oceanside as a community needs to go in general. I don't get why it's still a location, lol. Yeah, me either, Dan. It was so weird when Scott Gimple introduced to Oceanside in season 7. He not only introduced it very early, but he made it all women. I mean, just why? Like, I don't know. Epic says, but yeah, seriously, where is Sydney? Yeah, I'm wondering that too, Epic. So the actress, she is filming other stuff right now, I think, or she was filming, so they couldn't get her to come in the finale. And like I told Dan, I don't know why they cast actors who don't want to be on The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Who don't want to stay loyal. You know what I mean? Sydney was in season 7 a little bit in season 8, a tiny bit in season 9 and 10. I mean, just like, why is she even a character? Kill her off. You know what I mean? Chosen says, I like what they did with Herschel in the comics. It was very unexpected and it made sense. He grew up without a father in a crappy world, and Maggie was busy with her job. Yeah, but I didn't like it, Chosen. It wasn't interesting, and it was disrespect to the character of Glenn. Even Maggie, that was disrespectful to Glenn. You know what I mean? So, yeah. They just can't do it the same way, Chosen. They need to do something else with Herschel. Don't make him a spoiled brat in the show. Make him a misunderstood kid who doesn't know right from wrong. You know what I mean? Just don't do the spoiled. Okay, we have Sebastian. You know, don't make another spoiled brat. Chosen says it was interesting with the wagon in his little show. It was also the last issue. No, that wasn't interesting to me, Chosen. I'm sorry, but I kind of hated it. I just don't like it. A wagon in the show, it's fine for a different character, but not Glenn and Maggie's son. Uh, Look at Judith. Look what they did with Judith. You know, what if Jude? How would you guys feel if they made Judith a spoiled brat? You know what I mean? In season 9, imagine how we would have been. Like we would have lost Carl. That's how I feel. We lost Carl, and then we get a spoiled brat as a replacement. Like no, they need to make Herschel much better in the show. Dan says Sydney is the next Morales. Oh boy, yeah, pretty much. Epic says also they better go back Hilltop and Alexandria in the final season. I don't know, Epic. They might have the characters just moving into the Commonwealth. Chosen says Herschel's show was also a good way to explain the absence of zombies. Yeah, but they need to do it with a different character, just a new character, not Herschel. Eastside says Oceanside was another Gimple screw up. Absolutely. I mean, the junkyard too. Just oh boy. Epic says, yeah, yeah, Comic Glenn would have been ashamed seeing his son like that. I would have been, yeah, even Maggie too. The fact that she completely neglected her son, for her career and just, I don't know, just no. Chosen says, fair point with Judith Bryan. Yes, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Like we lose Glenn, but at least we get his son. And after all that build up, he becomes a spoiled brat. So that would have been like Carl dying, and then Judith is a spoiled brat in season 9. It just doesn't work. Plus, it's not that interesting. But yeah, I'm glad you see my point. Dan says characters like Sydney is why I can't stand Oceanside. It's like, where are they during all these episodes? And then they show up once a season at most. Like, come on. Yeah, I hate that too, Dan. It's like a character disappearing. It feels so unrealistic in the world of The Walking Dead. Like, even if they don't have a lot of screen time. Like, look at Scott. I will give this to Seth Green. That is the actor for Scott, right? He has been when every time the characters there are Alexandrians or something happening, Scott is always there. You know what I mean? The actor. He is loyal. That is what we need in The Walking Dead. We need actors. I can't believe it. Scott is the most loyal minor character who comes. He's in almost every scene or every part of the story, but he gets nothing to do. But characters that should have something to do are just the actors just not available. It's like, come on. You know, I can't believe I'm saying this, but yes, we should learn from Sky. Like, you know, the characters have much to learn from Sky. You know what I mean? It's just so crazy. Eastside says Oceanside and Magnus Group are IMO. Why fans left? No one cares about them. Yeah, that's true, Eastside. Oceanside, they never should have done them. They're not interesting or relatable. Beatrice, I was sad to see her go because her death was just so brutal, but she had no character development. Sydney doesn't even appear. She's the leader of Oceanside and yet makes no appearances. And Magna, don't really care for Magna. Yumiko is okay. Luke is kind of boring, not really doing much. He got better in the finale though. And Connie disappeared. She's great, but come on. And Kelly, oh, don't even get me started on Kelly. I just don't know. I just don't like her that much. It's not the how they're writing her. It's just I think it's just it doesn't fit the character. I guess the character doesn't really feel real, you know. Epic says, but hope the Commonwealth will be better than the comic version. I hated that arc in the comics. Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Commonwealth was good at the beginning, but then it fell flat. Chosen says, love how Scott took over the stream. Yeah, he takes over every stream, Chosen. But good news, at least it's not the trolls. You know, I'd rather have Scott take over the stream than the trolls like before. Dan says, Scott is loyal, so you know that. Start giving him screen time because we know he's not dying anytime soon. Yeah, Scott's never going to die. He's going to be the last man standing. Dan says, it happens often, Chosen One. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Scott, he gets more talk in my streams than you know, than screen time in the show. You know what I mean? Uh, Many times over. Uh, let's see. Yeah, do you guys have to go any points? Because I'm gonna end the stream soon. Um, let's see. Nope, nothing yet. Sorry, I was just waiting for a message. Uh, I was just waiting for an important message. Eastside says no one's dying anymore, Dan. I bet we don't lose another character for the remainder of the series. I'm serious. Yeah, I think so too, Eastside. And in a way, I don't really blame Angela King. So, she should have done more deaths. I will say that. But I will say that after what Scott Gimple did in season 7 and 8, it's understandable why she's a little hesitant with killing off certain characters. Because yeah, I mean, I don't know what like Gimple was killing off way too many main characters, and Angela King was like she's not killing off any. You know what I mean? Like look what happened. We thought Ezekiel was gonna get his comic death. We thought Gabriel was gonna get his comic death, and she tricked us both times. It's like okay, I'll admit, like Angela King doesn't seem to be doing character deaths the same like in the comic. You know what I mean? Scott Gimple, he does it sometimes, but he adds even more depths to that. You know what I mean? Let's see. Let's see. Epic says maybe they're scared because it's all mods in this chat. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you guys did a great job scaring off the trolls. Dan says, I hope not. That would be a weak end for the series if that's the case. Yeah. By the way, like, okay, so are the Rick movies going to be the end of the franchise, or our characters, or is it going to be the final season? Because I'm still wondering this, like, or is it going to be the Daryl and Carol show? They really like. When's the last time we're going to see Daryl or Carol? You know what I mean? Or Rick? Is it going to be in the movies, in the spin-off show, in the main show? I just don't know. Um, Eastside says dog will be 135 in dog years and still kicking. Yeah, absolutely. Dog, they can do the 20-year time skip, and dog is like still alive. Um, yeah, they need to keep dog in the final episode, the final season. Just keep dog. Epic says, I bet Magna will get Dwight's comic death and Negan will get Rick's death. Yeah, they could do something like that. Dan says that would be they would be scared every time, as Felix from World Beyond would say. LOL. Yeah, that's true. It's crazy, but I think he's my favorite character in World Beyond right now at the moment. Um, oh, Eastside says Kang's biggest death is Terra. Terra. Yeah, I know. Good point. And the biggest death in season 10 was Sadiq. You know what I mean? And not Alpha, not Beta. I mean, they were big, but I would say, like, on our survivor side, Sadiq. You know what I mean? Yeah, Kang has really surprised us with the deaths. Eastside says the second Rick movie will be the end of the Walking Dead universe. IMO. Interesting, Eastside. Yeah, I think so too. I really don't know if there's going to be a third one. I think there might be just two. Chosen says Tara and Enid's death and deaths were the saddest, but Henry's was the most shocking. Yeah, absolutely. Um, okay, so like, yeah, like Angela King, she has killed off some characters. Are they big? No, not really. But I would say that they do have an impact in the story. Um, let's see. Dan says probably East Side. Brian says we're here, just not attacking tonight. Drew told us not to attack tonight, so okay. Yeah, Brian. There is not going to be any attack tonight. If I see any more trolls, I'm ending the stream right now. I've been doing it an hour and a half with my loyal subscribers and followers, and yeah, and my mods. So yeah, I'm going to end the stream if the trolls start coming. Dan says, I don't think a third movie will happen. Yeah, me either, Dan. Just how long the first one is taking, I just don't see it. And yeah, guys, I'm not going to end the stream just because of the trolls. I really do. I really think I should end it. I'm getting kind of tired, but also the streams has been going on for way longer than I thought it would. Um, Epic says, like in a way, we did lose some big characters during this entire Whisper arc. Yeah, that's true. We did lose some big characters. Tara, Enid, Henry. Sadiq, but let's be honest, they're no they're no Rick or Glenn or Carl. I mean, yeah. So Angela King was smart on that, not killing off a Glenn or a Carl. And she didn't kill off Dog or Jerry. And even though they're not big characters, we love them. You know what I mean? Even though they're really minor characters, because she knows that the fans love them, and are would be very mad if they died. Let's see. Chosen says season 11 dev predictions. Great question, Chosen. Um, I think okay. So I would say Magna. Okay, I would say Magna, Negan. Yes, Negan. I would say Negan will be the big death in season 11, and pretty much those. Definitely not Scott. Scott is not dying in season 11. Um, let's see. Hey Matt, he says I am. Hey, I'm back. Glad you're back, man. Unfortunately, I might end this soon. I might end the stream kind of soon. But yeah. Let's see. Dan says hopefully Gabriel will survive the series now, but I'm still worried about him. Yeah, he survived his comic book death, so you just know that they might kill him. Oh no. If Scott Gimple was writing this, he would have just killed him off. 10 seconds later. Yeah, you know what? If Scott Gimple was writing this, Father Gabriel would have survived Beta, but he just would have gotten bitten um, by a random walker or just something like that. Like Gabriel would have still died. I mean, it's Scott Gimple. He would have still killed him off. Dan says Magna is definitely dead in my opinion. Yeah, I think Negan too. Um, let's see. Epic says also one thing I don't like about Super Videos Entertainment is he waits till a month before The Walking Dead starts to do death predictions. Oh, okay. Huh. Interesting. I don't watch him anymore. I don't have time. Chosen says Scott will be the president of the Commonwealth. Yes, Oh my gosh, I can see it now. I'm gonna hate it. Oh boy. Eastside says, "Bite your tongue. Negan ain't dying ever." I'm sorry, Eastside. I think we need a big death for season 11, for the final season. And let's be honest, King did say that we were gonna see some interesting stuff between Maggie, Herschel, and Negan. I definitely, and plus, someone has to get Rick's comic death. And come on, you did say that Rick and Negan were the same person. Those were your words, right, Eastside? Let's see. Matt says Scott will be there till the end. Absolutely, Matt. Yeah, he's gonna survive forever. I mean, just like it's gonna be the last episode. They're gonna do the time skip, and Scott's he's still gonna be there, and it's like he has had no development, nothing, and it's gonna be like, okay, why did you survive the series? Dan says, yeah, Negan better survive. I don't know, Dan. I really feel like this might be his last season. Let's see. Eastside says Negan is better than Rick. There, I said it. Wait, I thought you said that Negan and Rick are the same person. Chosen says, what if Negan was already bitten by zombie beta through on him? Interesting theory, Chosen. So then he would get Andrea's comic death, but unfortunately, I don't see it happening because Negan had a leather jacket, and I don't see how a zombie can bite through that. Dan says, I disagree, Eastside, but Negan is still really awesome. Eastside says, Negan is such an amazing character, always will be. Yeah, that's true. Negan is an amazing character. Villain, definitely needed some work there. Epic says, also Dog has officially lived longer than Shiva. Yeah, that's true. But he has had way less screen time. Dan says, agreed, Epic. And Chosen says, I like comic Negan over show Negan, definitely. Although I will say, I think they did shows Negan his redemption arc better. They definitely stretched out a little bit more, which I liked. Eastside says, same morals, Negan is more of a man. Epic says, Dog is becoming iconic. Yeah. Dan says, TV Negan is great, though. He is, but he is skinny. That's one of my biggest gripes with him. Oh, and and he murdered Glenn for no reason. That's also one of my biggest gripes with him. Yeah, I'm not gonna let that go. Let's see. Epic says, gotta love dog. Who doesn't love dog? Besides dog haters. Shiva says, no, Shiva says, my goodness. Brian, come on, focus. Dan says, Shiva did more than dog so far, though. Yeah, that's true, Dan. Dog has had, like, hardly anything to do, unfortunately. Epic says, I hope Dog is a part of the Daryl and Connie spinoff. I hope so too, but I don't know how likely that is. Um, let's see. Who is still watching? I'm guessing all you guys are watching. Eastside says Daryl murdered Glenn. Well, then maybe Daryl should have been put in a cell for 8 years. Wait a minute. No, 9 years. Wait, was it? I don't know. It was somewhere around there. Chosen says TV Negan needs a personal story. He has his redemption from being the bad guy, but no Lucille story, unlike comic Negan. Yeah, that's true. Chosen, let's be honest, it's Scott Gimble's fault. Okay, it wasn't Angela King's fault. I mean, Scott Gimble wrote it where the group left Lucille on that tree or by that tree to be plant food. That was all Scott Gimble. And Angela King, she couldn't fix that. Just like Carl's death, she couldn't fix what Gimple did. Dan says, poor Glenn. Yeah, I know. I still miss Glenn so much. And even after all this time, still, it feels like something's missing in the show. Um, Part of me wonders how the show would be, how the finale would have been if Glenn was, in it. Dan says, yeah, where is Lucille? Yeah, Dan, she's plant food. You know what I mean? Scott Gimple turned Lucille into plant food. Like, let's be honest. It has been almost 9 years now since they defeated Negan and Lucille was left in that field. And yeah, that's blame Scott Gimple, honestly. But yeah, Lucille is dead. Eastside says Daryl definitely should have punching Negan. How dumb. Oh, you mean shouldn't? Yeah, that was Daryl's dumbest moment in the franchise. Absolutely. He was not thinking straight. Chosen says Scott has Lucille. LOL. Oh wow, that would be amazing. Chosen. Just plot twist. Scott is a villain. He's secretly Negan. You know what I mean? This whole time. That would be awesome. Dan says, Michonne, Negan, we don't have your bat. Okay, then who does? Yeah, it's like the ground, like the ground has his bat. I still cannot believe that. I mean, I don't know. Did somebody ever ask Scott Gimple why he had them leave Lucille in the field to be plant food? Like, I don't understand it. What was Gimple thinking? Okay, wait, why am I asking that? He killed off Glenn, Sasha, and then killed off Carl. All three of those when he didn't really have to. I mean, why am I asking that? Oh, and introducing the two worst groups in the show. Let's see. Eastside says Scott and Michonne hooked up, I bet. Oh, no, Eastside. Please, no. Um, Even Scott and Sasha is a better relationship or ship than that. Michonne and Scott? No, please, no. I couldn't handle that. That I would. I couldn't. I mean, Scott he's so minor. And Michonne she's so massive of a character. Eastside says poor Lucille. She needs some love. Yeah, I don't know, Eastside. Lucille does not. I don't think she needs love. She needed something else. Uh, let's see. Chosen says maybe Gimple made it so Scott can't die because they share a name. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Chosen. Like I've said, that is probably the only reason that they've kept Scott this long. Scott wants a character with his name to live. Dan says Scott has Lucille on the wall, like Michonne had her sword up in season 5. Yeah, that's true. I mean, man, talk about an interesting plot twist. Like we see Scott just going to his house, and then you see the bat on the wall. Dan says Scoshone. Scoshone is that how I should say it, Dan? That is a hilarious fake ship name. I love it. Just because how funny it is. Scoshone. I mean, just wow. That is hilarious. Um, yeah. So Wait, Chinese noodles. Drew sent us to do our inspections to see if you make good content. Yes, we make good content, um, but not for trolls. Not saying you are, but just let you know this is a troll-free zone. Oh wow, Dan, you timed them out. Okay, let's continue. Um, Chosen says there was the comic Michonne story where she becomes desperate. Remember Heath rejecting her and telling her to have respect for herself. Scott and Herschel could be possible. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm sorry, Chosen. I'm not quite seeing what you're saying. I don't get what you're saying. Eastside says, if I was Negan, I would leave Alexandria and walk by Maggie, carrying Lucille and whispering the Savior's call. Oh boy, Eastside, have you no shame? That is sick, man. No, Maggie would shoot him with all her arrows if he did that. Also, like I said, Negan doesn't have Lucille, and Alexandra's overrun. Dan says anyone who is sent by Drew, we don't want to hear it. Yeah, that's true. Matt says Drew needs to kick rocks. Absolutely. So let's see, guys. All right, guys, listen. Please listen. When it hits the hour and 40-minute mark, I'm going to end the stream. I just have to. My family's here, and I should really spend some time with them. And I really got to get to work on the Walking Dead Extinction episode 5. Um, I really got to get to work on it. I've worked on a little bit of it today. I did some writing, but I need to maybe finish the writing either today or tomorrow. So yeah. Matt says Drew's comes to my streams too. Oh wow, Matt. I am sorry to hear that. Man, it must be so annoying. Um, let's see. Matt, you say a guy needs to get a life already. Yeah, absolutely. Dan says no problem, man. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, you're welcome, Dan. And by the way, do you guys want? Okay, I need to think of something. So next week, should we talk about World Beyond or Fear? What do you guys want to talk about? I think I want to let you guys vote. Do you guys want to talk about World Beyond episode 1 and 2, or do you want to talk about Fear, season 6, episode 1? Like, what do you guys want to talk about? Chosen says, I think after Morgan's death, Michonne is desperate for a lover. Maybe once Rick left, she became desperate and hooked up with Scott. Oh boy. Um, yeah, I don't know, Chosen. That is, oh boy. That would be a big can of worms. Eastside says, I gotta go, guys. Good night. All right, good night, Eastside. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it, man. I can't wait to see you next time. And stay safe. We still have Corona going on in the country and the world. So yeah, man, stay safe. You guys are saying good night and ciao. How about both? Wait, Matt. Oh, okay. Wait, what are you talking? Matt, do you mean okay? Like half the stream is World Beyond and the other half is Fear. Uh, Good idea. Yeah. Okay. Do you guys want to do that? So after I end my stream, I'll try to put it in the comment section. I want to like let you guys vote on it or something. Dan says let's talk about Fear since it's a new thing. Unless it's terribly boring, then we will talk about World Beyond. LOL. Yeah. All right, guys. Sounds good. I'll try to Photoshop a picture of Fear the Walking Dead and World Beyond together, and try to make it like a split. You know what I mean? Stream. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Let me just close this stupid tab. All right. Let's see. But yeah, after the stream ends, just let me know what you guys think. And oh, sorry. Once again, I'm getting these stupid pop-up ads. Dan says, good idea, Matt. Let's do both. Okay, guys. Yeah, that sounds good. So we will do both then. We will do the premiere for Fear the Walking Dead and World Beyond, and I'll try to make a picture smashing them together in the thumbnail so that you guys will understand what the stream's about. But yeah, so hopefully next week. Not sure what time. Yeah, I definitely don't know what time next week. Sometime next week, hopefully. Yeah, because I'm going to be working a lot next week, so I got to figure out when I can do a stream. Chosen says, I was going to ask, are you able to do custom thumbnails? Kind of. I can kind of do them, Chosen, but they take a while for me, and I'm using a new website, program, and I just need to get better acquainted with it. So yeah, guys, it's an hour and 40 minutes now. So thank you guys so much for my coming to my stream and getting rid of the small amount of trolls. But yeah, this has been a great long stream with no trolls interrupting us. So yeah, guys, stay safe. Have a good night. And yeah, guys, can't wait for next week. And yeah, guys, hope you all have a good week. Take care. Wait. Dan says, I'm so nervous that Fear will be bad again this year, but if I'm wrong, I'll be so happy. We need a good season. Yes, absolutely, Dan. It has been a while since we had a good Fear season. It's been 3 years. Dan says, thanks for the stream, man. You're welcome, Dan. All right, guys, I gotta go. Take care. Have a good night. Bye.